the heart of the fire, but how did you get up? I done got rich and went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. Ay, how did the lady go miss? Ay, her she was magic, she mixed. Met her at one of the functions, we caught a little rhythm. She caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain. Pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked. Can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Wait. Need a light year just to catch my buzz.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Washington football team. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
The ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Drop to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
And the Colts first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Campbell making the catch. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
He'll get this one to Pittman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
To Michael Pittman.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle. But collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on first and goal.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Their own 25-yard line.
On first down, Hurts. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. They go play action here on first down. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now third and 12.
A 2-yard loss brings up third down and 12.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf.
A gain of
a big play there for Indy. 68 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds at the 2. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
At their own 25-yard line.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Come on. 54 mark. 54 mark. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming.
On 1st down, Gibson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is really thrown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
58, 58, Mike. Check.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
1st down.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Got a man. It's Gibson complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Now 2nd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
Hurts. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Over 1st and 10.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
41 yards.
A huge play that time for the Colts. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Here we go, let's bring it.
Throwing is Hurts. Slings this deep from McLaurin. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A gain of 40 yards.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
For Indianapolis.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Here's Hurts to throw. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to... And he coughed it up! And the Colts pick it up! And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football and catch him up.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 28-0. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Taken down at the 22-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run. nowhere to hide.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. Would you say 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
58, Mike. I got one.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Antonio Gibson.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibson. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run here with Taylor. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
They run the counter. Gibson. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? We've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys of the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Washington on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. Here we go on fourth down. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
The 42-yard line.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Bringing up 3rd and 12.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Watch the run, watch the run. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the run, watch the run.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
42.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Taylor. And he powers his way up past the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
53 is mine. Check. 53 is mine. Here we go, here we go. 53 is mine. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 53 is mine. Check, smash. Check, smash. Mike, 53. 53.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and that'll bring up second down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Catch made here by Campbell. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 37.
Today's final score.
He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. This
is Steffi Music.